managing editor for TMCnet, coming to you from IT Expo East 2011 in Miami. And joining me is Greg Polier, president of Media Platform. How you doing, Greg?
Doing great. Thanks
Good to see you today. Thanks for coming to the show.
Great.
So tell me a little bit about what Media Platform does to begin with.
Okay, well, we are a software company, and we're focused on providing software for large companies and service providers to do everything you can think of with digital video, from running live events to creating libraries of those of that content. Our stuff is used for a very wide variety of business purposes, from executive communication to marketing events to training. All the uses that video is finding its niche for nowadays.
Okay, and you're a U.S.-based company?
Yes, we are.
With most of your customers in the U.S. as well?
Yes, we have some European customers. I'm headed to London tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, great, good. So, yeah, online business video, especially, it's obviously it's become, a very critical tool for enterprises today. In my mind, the big thing that's really freed it up and allowed it to become what it is the lifting of the bandwidth constraints more than anything. Yep. Video is now easy to consume on the web. And I think the thing that it's prompted businesses to sort of rethink their whole strategy in terms of how they utilize business video and leverage it so that they can get better value out of it. I think part of that, involves, first of all, getting your audience in place so that people know that you have the video content, right? And then the next thing is what you do with that content after it's been produced. Right. You've got to find a way to leverage it so that you can get more value out of it. A lot of the time, I think the approach there is to make it sort of part of a program, if you will, part of a campaign, whatever it is. There has to be some sort of continuity between all the different pieces that you're doing in order for it to really be effective, right?
Yes. Yeah, I fully agree. And what we're seeing now is sort of a perfect storm of all the different reasons why people use video. Some of it is it used to be executives at companies that were really driving the use because they wanted to talk to all their employees and create a sense of culture and be able to unify the messaging throughout.
Right.
Those were the early days. That's still very important. But now you have a whole new generation of people entering the workforce that grew up on YouTube and expect the ability to post video, create video, share it. So that's driving some of it. Then you also have the technology getting to the point where there's no excuse and it just needs to work and everyone wants it. Right. And there's really, people ask what business purposes it's used for. It's really every business purpose you can think of is starting to leverage video as one of its communication media types.
Right, yeah, and there's so many different ways that you can now integrate it in with other things, with your marketing materials. Yep. I mean, it's just like voice in a lot of ways, click to call. Yep. You can build a video into any web page. Right. And always point visitors, users to that resource. Yep. So it's very powerful in that regard. What about the length of video? I mean, everything that, like, for example, in online journalism, everybody's always talking about, well, we got to get it shorter. Right. Little tidbits that are easier to digest and consume. One of the beautiful things about online video is it allows you to do that, but at the same time, it seems like so many video productions just go on forever. People click on that link. Right. One of the first things users look at, and I think there are studies that back this up, they look at the amount of time that's left on that video. Right. And if they see 59 minutes left, that's going to affect the user's thought process. And am I going to finish this? Is it even worth it for me to start watching this?
And I think the answer to that topic is to know your audience and to know what's appropriate. And there's certain audiences that are receptive to long presentations if you're training on a certain topic. But even then, you want to provide certain niceties that there's no excuse not to provide. Table of contents if it's on demand. So you can jump ahead. Maybe you don't care about the 20-minute introduction on a certain topic that you already know. You want to jump ahead. So those kinds of things. Searchability. So that you can find what you're looking for and go right to that point. Also with live events, they tend to be more acceptable if they're an hour long or something like that because and also production values matter. Your ability to pay attention to a low production quality presentation, it's not zero. So if it's going to be low quality production, make it really short and get your message across. If it's going to be really high quality production, you can go on for longer. But include nice things like switching between presenters in different places, switch to different, use your PowerPoint well, use screen capture well.
Right.
That's what engages people.
Right. that indexing and searchability issue is also a critical one as well. It's been pointed out many times that with the wealth of content on YouTube, there's no way to really search on a more granular basis to find that one section of the clip that's really pertinent to what you need. I think we're getting to the point now where there are some solutions that are coming to the fore that allow you to search the content, not just for the clips, but the content.
And we do provide some of those technologies. And we have customers that will run events where they're doing closed captioning during the event live. They'll have a stenographer transcribing. That data gets captured at what time it's happening so that in the replay, in the on-demand version, people can search it and as well as use the on-demand for the closed captioning for its purpose. So.
Right, yeah. One last question about where online video is headed, particularly business video. Sure. Do you think we're going to reach the point where it begins to make a significant portion of the amount of news and information that was readers reading it off the web is now going to be consumed in video format? And how far do you think that's going to go, I guess is really...
I think it's not, I can't say it's limitless, because if you said limitless, that would mean the only thing people watch at work in a certain number of years will be video.
Yeah, and people won't read
which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So what it's going to do is it's going to reach a point where it fully fills the niche that it's appropriate for.
Right.
And it's not there yet, because there's a lot of times people want to create video, but they don't have the ability, they don't have the software, they don't have the ease, they don't have the legal workflow so that it can get approved. Until all those technologies are there, where it becomes really simple, it won't fully get used to its full degree. The other thing is, right now, especially at big companies, the first thing they say is, well, we got to protect our network, and if you're going to use video in extensive ways, we need to spend $20–30 million upgrading our routers and our gear, and what do we do if we acquire another company?
Right.
Luckily, as of about a year ago, there's some new software solutions, especially what Adobe's been doing. So I don't work for Adobe, but the fact is they're solving some problems that are game-changing for our industry. Mm-hmm. They're coming up with, they have new ways of distributing video in the enterprise using something they call application multicast as well as IP multicast, where you could literally imagine, and this could happen this year, where setting up and running a webcast to 100,000 people behind your firewall is as easy as setting up and running a WebEx or an Adobe Connect or a Citrix. Right now, people break out their credit card and run a Citrix meeting, right? And that's 10 people on a phone call while you're sharing your screen.
Right.
But if you have 100,000 employees and the CEO is going to speak, you start using your IT department, you spend millions of dollars and years go by. Now it's going to get as easy as typing your credit card, hit go live, and 100,000 people join, and your network is fine. So anyway, that's where it's going, and that's it's good and bad. It's good for companies like us in the early days because there's an opportunity there, and it's bad because for companies like us, it'll get commoditized in the next few years because it'll become so easy and so just commonplace to run.
Right, just like with voice.
Yep.
Sure,
Exactly.
absolutely. Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for your time, Greg. I appreciate it. We've been talking to Greg Pullier, President of Media Platform, coming to you from IT Expo East 2011 in Miami. Thanks again, Greg.
Thank you very much.